Welcome back to the channel, guys. It is still really wet out here, but it is dry enough for us to finally be able to move that thing. I'm excited. It's been stuck back here for probably the last, I don't know, month and a half or so. I have a couple projects that have been needing it to come around, and we just haven't been able to do them because we couldn't get it around. Today, we are going to tie my front two tires together. If you look at them now, I can spin that one and not that one. We can't just go and slap things together, because if you do, you won't get your steering geometry correct. I'm going to show you how to use some string and a differential to set up perfect steering geometry. But first, let's get this around. It's gonna be a pain in the butt. When I say a pain in the butt, it's gonna be a pain in the butt. Let me tell you, that's not as fun as it looks. We got ourselves a hover lawnmower. The string trick is actually pretty simple. All you have to do is you get some kite string, chain, anything that can be pulled taut and straight. You can use a ratchet strap, I don't care what you use. What you do is you crawl under the vehicle. You find the center of the differential, which will be this point right here on mine. Then you tape your string there and then draw it straight and pull it all the way to the front of your vehicle and then tie it to your kingpin. At that point, it looks like you've made a triangle out of string because you have one going to the right side, one going to the left side. At any point along that string, if you place your tie rod ends, your steering geometry will be optimal. It's a pretty simple trick, and you will nail your steering geometry every single time you use it, and it doesn't matter what size vehicle you use, it works on all of them. That's why I did it with the monster mower, and that's why I'm doing it with this. Also, fun fact, I'm going to have to adjust the steering geometry on the stock front axle because it is no longer correct since we moved my differential so far back. And with that one, I'll be doing the same exact trick. Which is directly above the plumb blob, which is directly above the plumb blob. I can't say it.
Let's do that again.
Lord, I'm gonna have so many of these little things of me not being able to talk.
Okay, try that one more time, Cody. I'm holding.
Here's the way we lined our strings to figure out where the center of the differential is. Because we're lifted and the front axle is a lot lower than the differential, we need to make sure our strings stay level. We used a plumb bob. So we used a plumb bob from the center of the differential down here where our strings cross is right at the center, so we taped them. This will give us an accurate representation of where everything needs to be. You can put your tie rod ends that connect the two wheels together anywhere along this string and that string, as long as they are 90 to each other. If you go closer to the axle, you'll get more steering angle, and if you go further away from the axle, you get more leverage. It's a fine balance, a game of leverage versus steering angle. What we're going to do is probably go 3 or 4 inches off my front axle. So our tie rods will probably float somewhere about here.
That's about 6 or 7 inches.
The camera adds 4 inches. Now that we have our string set up, what we're going to do is come off with a piece of plate right here and then set it up to where we can drill a hole in it to allow our tie rods to mount. I'm going to make a template real quick just out of some construction paper, cardboard, something just to get an idea of what we're doing. And then we will cut it out of metal and weld them on. I'm welding on an AC buzz box using a 6011 rod. This rod does not produce the cleanest looking weld, but it's plenty substantial. I prefer this rod on AC because it strikes extremely easy, it restarts extremely easy, and it leaves a nice strong weld, and it tends to eat through things like mill scale. As to where a 7018, like I like to weld with on DC, you have to have the metal pretty clean. We tend to procrastinate really bad, so of course now it's dark and this thing is longer than our garage, so we're having to work outside in the cold. I put clamp lights up. We can see. Now we're about to mark and drill the holes for our tie rod ends. Then all we have to do is make our tie rod, which should be relatively easy, and hopefully not have as big of an issue trying to get this thing back and forth around the house. It takes 3 people, a small dog, and a duck. He's important. We've marked our hole. This is where we're gonna drill for our tie rod end to fall through. It is 5 inches away from the edge of the spindle. There's really no rhyme or reason to the 5 inches other than that's what it is on the monster mower. And with the monster mower, granted we're using different rack and pinions, at 5 inches I get about 35 degrees deflection. These things have the capability of going a little more than 45. I don't think we will have that in the steering box. To make our tie rod bar, we are going to use these tie rod ends. We have both a right-handed and a left-handed, and this 3/4 inch black pipe. He is being very impatient and wanting me to stop talking to you guys. So he's gonna be going before I even get the time lapse set up. He likes taking my jobs. It's not me. He just likes having fun. Bar's made. Let's go put it on. I realize I also don't have any locking nuts. I just don't have any metric stuff here. I'll get it tomorrow. I think it's about time to put tires on. But before we do that, let's show you how this setup kind of worked with the string. I've gotta play in limbo! All right, if you see my string, it's coming from my kingpin, going straight over the tip of this bolt, and then down to my diff. This is what gives me the nice steering geometry. All right, so now we're going to turn this without anything on it. You'll notice that the wheels actually don't turn at the same angle going around corners. One lays in just a little bit more than the other. It's because the outside tire has to go further around a circle than the inside tire. I was turning it at an exaggerated angle. This thing with the wheels on it and the actual full steering hooked up will only have about 30 to 35 degrees rate. Right now, we have potentially 45 with the way it's set up, but it is dinner time, so we're gonna go eat. I'll see you guys when we're done. Whew. So it's like really cold out here, and we have the door open, and I'm cold. I'm gonna go ahead and put my wheels back on, and then see if we can try and lock the steering. It'll just make pushing it around back a little easier. That's probably going to be the end of the video. I'll end us on a time lapse putting the tires on. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you like my little string trick, comment down below. And if you want to see more videos like this or the rest of this build series, subscribe to my channel and then also check out my Farm LH build. I will see you guys next time. Later!